Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the Joe Rocket Atomic 5.0, available at RevZilla.com. So the Atomic 5.0 jacket is a step over the 4.0. Now the 4.0 hasn't gone away, but we're seeing a lot of evolutionary changes with this jacket that are bearing mention here. The first that I want to start off with is going to be the fitment for this. So really what we're seeing, while Joe Rocket is still that traditional American brand, they've really kind of trimmed their fit up, and their size chart is pretty well spot on. Javi's Brian on the left-hand side stands at 6 feet, weighs 195 pounds, measures his chest at 42 inches, and the size chart recommends that he should be in a large, and that's the size that we have him in. And again, it's a very more articulated fit than what we've traditionally seen from Joe Rocket in the past, which has been traditionally more of a boxier cut to it. So they've slimmed their lines down a little bit, which is nice to see. Now sizes still range from a small up to a 5XL, and there's 6 colors available. Brian is wearing the black and the orange on the left-hand side, and it does bear mention again that if you are going up to the 4 or the 5XL, the only color you're going to have to choose from is black. So when we're talking about seasonality with this, think 3-season, depending on where in the country you live. Now, we say 3-season warm weather. If you're living in the Northeast, you're going to have to add some extra layers underneath this to get through the dead of winter. And if you live in the Southwest, you know, maybe somewhere down in Arizona, New Mexico, this can pretty much be your 4-season jacket. So 3-season warm weather, again, depending on where you live in the country. When we're talking about the price for this, it's around the $150 to $170 price point, and the price does change depending on size. Everything up to extra large is going to be around that $150 mark. From 2XL up to 5XL, it does bump you up to that $170 mark. And if you wanted to step up from this, you want to get into something maybe a little more adventure-oriented, that's where you'd be taking a look at the Ballistic Revolution jacket from Joe Rocket. That gives you more of that adventure bike style, where the Atomic 5.0 still has more of that touring sport style to it. So, starting with the top, let's work our way through this, and we'll hit on a few of the key points that set this apart from the Atomic 4.0, the changes that Joe Rocket has made. So, starting with the collar. The first thing you'll see is that there is neoprene around the collar now. That is an addition over the 4.0, as well as the rubberized snap to this, just adding a little bit of extra comfort. And the main addition that you're going to see as we work our way down the arms is that they've added the Hitena, which is an extra layer of abrasion resistance at the shoulders, at the elbows, your impact zones. And this is going to sit on top of the 600D Rock Tex chassis, which is the main construction for the entire jacket. So what they've done is they've beefed up your impact zones while adding extra pops of blacked out reflectivity throughout the jacket. So you can see that blacked out reflectivity working its way across the shoulders and then down the chest. And as we work our way down the arms, some of the features have stayed the same. You're going to see this pop of orange along the side. That's where you would be able to put the armor in and out for the shoulders. For the shoulders, and then there's going to be one on the elbows as well. So the armor for this is a CE-rated proprietary armor, but it's going to be put in and out through zippers on the outside. Now, personally, I don't think it's any easier to get the armor in and out, and I could see the zipper as a potential fail point. So my only one nitpick here is I would love to see just traditional armor pockets on the inside of the jacket as opposed to the exterior entry point. Now, as we move our way down the bicep, you do have direct venting along the bicep, and the addition that we've seen to the vents, or the upgrade we've seen to the vents, is they're now auto-locking zippers with a water-resistant feature to it. So while the shell itself is going to be waterproof, it is going to be those water-resistant zippers. Now, I will say this. When I'm looking at this, there's a lot of venting on here. There's a lot of zippers. So even though it's going to be a water-resistant jacket or a waterproof jacket, I could see, through a long day of riding, some of these vents being a potential fail point. However, I spent some time reading through the comments section that you all have left on the 4.0, and people seem to love the waterproofing. They talk about the fact that it really holds up, so maybe these zippers are going to work perfectly based on what we've read from comments below. So just keep that in mind. I would just say that if you are going to be riding in a torrential rain, just keep a note. Then anytime you have this cut into the exterior material, that's a potential point where water can push through. As we work our way down the arm, you do have a dual snap adjuster at the forearm with this. It is going to have that Joe Rocket logo right in the snap, just keeping a little bit of that heritage to the brand itself. And as we get down to the bottom, one of the things you'll notice is that it's that full sleeve thermal liner poking through. Now, we called this 3-season functionality in the beginning because it's a very lightweight, lightweight liner. If you are in the Northwest, that's your springtime, fall time liner. It's not something you're going to want to push into the depths of winter. Like I said, if you want to turn this into a 4-season jacket, you can. You're just going to have to layer up underneath. As we work our way down the front, we've got two large direct vents at the front, and one of the things you'll notice is that this is a Joe Rocket design. They've got this snap point, and what you do is you snap this together and it helps to hold the vents open. And again, it's that direct airflow. You take that liner out in the warmer months, you have a massive amount of airflow pushing in through the chest as well as down your biceps, and that is going to work very nicely to make sure that you maintain temperature in the warmer months of the year. And again, those auto-locking zippers with those water-resistant features to it to keep that water out as best as possible. Pops reflectivity working down the outside of the chest, and again, that Rocket logo up across the top with dual hand warmer pockets on the side. Brian, you may go ahead and face sideways, throw the hand up in the rider position for me. So you can see at the back of the elbow, again, that entry point for the armor like we talked about with the shoulder. And the other addition you'll see here is there's now accordion stretch working its way down the back of the arm. If Brian is in more of a full tuck position, what this is going to do, it just gives him a fuller range of motion. With the 4.0, you just felt a little bit restricted. It kind of like, almost felt like it was just binding up a little bit in the back. They fixed that with the addition of the accordion stretch. And then you will have an adjuster, a Velcro adjuster at the waist to help fine tune how this fits at your waist. You'll also notice exhaust vents, massive exhaust vents down the lateral side on each side of the jacket, just to help all that air that's pushing through from the front have a place to escape. Brian, you may go ahead and face backwards for me. Now the one thing you'll notice as we work our way down, pops of reflectivity added along the back of the shoulder blades, and now there's the additional rabbit pouch along the back, and that's going to be, if you want to take that thermal liner out, you will be able to store it in here, and that's just going to add just a little bit of extra storage at the back, and there is a little bit of padding underneath that rabbit pouch as well. There's not any kind of a zipper point there, it's just Velcro, as well as some snaps on either side. Now when we're talking about a back protector for this, the biggest problem that I have with the Atomic 5.0 is that it comes with a foam back pad, and a lot of riders out there are going to confuse this with a back protector. It's not a back protector, it's a foam pad. The first thing you want to do is you want to take this, get rid of it, and put a full-on back protector in there. It is going to be a Knox TP2 style back protector. As far as the shape is concerned, both Force Field as well as RevZilla will make a back protector that'll fit right in there perfectly to make sure you maintain safety. You know, you've already got the impact armor at your shoulders, your elbows. Just make sure you go ahead and throw a back protector in there as well. Brian, you may go ahead and face forward for me. I have you on-snap, on-zip. Now one of the things you notice, we on-snap, on-zip, we talk about the waterproof barrier with this. You have this massive storm shield in the front to make sure any water pushing through from the zipper is going to be blocked by this waterproof guard in the front part of the jacket, and that Napoleon pocket says on the outside. So just keep that in mind. If you're putting your cell phone in this Napoleon pocket, it's going to be on the outside of that. So I wouldn't keep any electronics in the Napoleon pocket if you get caught in the rain. Brian, you can go ahead and unzip that for me. Now we get to the inside. One of the things you'll note is we do have that full sleeve thermal liner. And again, it's a very lightweight liner, so it's not something you want to push into the coldest months of the year. But then you'll also have connection points for your belt as well. So 4 connection points, or belt loops rather, to make sure the jacket stays in place if you are in more of a full tuck position, or if you simply have a crash on the motorcycle, the jacket's going to stay and do the job that it's supposed to do, which is go ahead and keep you safe. Brian, you may zip up for me. So one of the things I will say about the Atomic 5.0 is that it is definitely a huge evolutionary step forward over the 4.0. The features they've added this are very thought out, and they've added both protection as well as comfort features to make sure you are safer in the event of a crash and you are more comfortable while you are riding. So Joe Rocket gets a big thumbs up for me for the evolutionary steps they've taken with the Atomic 5.0. Now there's a lot of riders out there utilizing Joe Rocket gear, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting Joe Rocket through its paces. If you have more questions for one of our gear geeks, give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot us an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Joe Rocket Atomic 5.0. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.